So like I said, and I was called a liar about it, Matt Lewis with Orangeburg Volunteer Fire Department, he apparently had some pretty severe yeast fungal infection from sticking his dick in women or something. Not to mention that night he yanked my shorts down and started blowing me without my permission. Then it felt like he was cutting it off. So when I tell you I tried to kill myself because of a bunch of fucking rapist perverts, it's pretty accurate. It's what they wanted, especially with ties on emergency medical services and Phil Day's goddamn pervert district. 5 hours left before I can go live on Facebook and display this message. They call it hate speech. People trying to document human trafficking. I can't wait to go on there and berate them for it too. They were already found guilty of human trafficking in Texas because of their platform. Well, Kentucky's up next. And I can continue hearing a watch and handcuffs clicking, and it's not a hallucination. They're called flashbacks to fucking rapist goddamn law enforcement officers feeling entitled to stick their dicks into kids. I was put into handcuffs one time and pepper sprayed as a severe asthmatic patient to the point I can't even fucking feel my hands anymore. Do you think those sick pieces of shit allowed me to file a fucking complaint? Permanent nerve damage in my hands, and do you think that they allowed me to file a complaint? No, they threatened to kill me, but oh well about that too, right, Patrick? And no, I wasn't playing the harmonica. I was sucking up some oxygen or lung stuff in the optic chamber. Really don't feel like going to the fucking doctor today. You know, that's the one sick thing about the medical profession. Truly sickening. Other than their ignorance towards people's plight about like what happened to them. Doctors making claims that, you know, well, our judgments are sound. Yeah, right. Like when I was forced to go to comprehend and do all this stupid sick shit because of falsified fraudulent healthcare information, I tried to file criminal charges against them for that, only for the cops to tell me I was in the wrong and threatening my life yet again. So when I say I tried to commit suicide only for these people to come in and slam me down and arrest me for it, suicide is not a criminal act. You can be in a hell of a lot of trouble for it. Calling me a liar about being raped is defamation of character. Have fun explaining it to your attorneys why you decided to call me a liar. We can always subpoena Tina, Applegate, Tracy, whatever it is now, Tammy Werline Brown, Linda Werline, Deborah Wood, Taylor and Karen. Kay's gone, even though she was recorded naked in the goddamn tapes as well, since you don't fucking believe me. So, Kim Razor and my uncle's law firm representing Bob Tribby during his tenure there, and the stories about people being raped by his goddamn fucking administration. Well, here I'll show you Michael Rigdon's letter from it about Bob Tribby's proof. So let Kim Razor argue the bitch didn't have political and social ties to this stupid shit. She should have thought about that before me making the ethics complaint. You know, if children who were raped by your goddamn family, you're not supposed to sign these forms. That's just common sense. Robert Tribby, jailer, Mason County, October 30th, 2000 until May 26, 2006. So, when I had my skull fractured, Bob Tribby, so Kim Razor's family fucking me up? Hooray! No, that bludgeoning scar happened from a long time ago, but they sure as hell didn't help anything. So, Bob was jailer until Blake graduated, huh? I think Blake was 2 years younger than I am. He might have been class of 05. I think he was... Who knows? Like I stated, I am not trying to make trouble. I am not trying to get anybody in trouble. I deserve a goddamn answer for why a bunch of fucking perverts with badges. This wasn't people breaking into our home and it happening. Not to my knowledge. Now, granted, I have a fuzzy memory due to fucking date rape, but those men that did this bludgeoning shit were not just stranger junkie people. And then Gerald Curtis was jailer of Mason County from June 1st, 2006 until January 31st, 2013. So, Mr. Curtis. I have quite a bit of information on Mr. Curtis, especially that 2012 stint that I did at MCDC for a driving under the influence. Let's see. Inmates were sexually assaulting one another. Guards were sexually assaulting inmates. Guards were dealing drugs. Oh, but you all didn't want to know that about Mr. Curtis and his goddamn impeccable record. With Mrs. Urey keeping him on as chief deputy to help clean up the goddamn damage he had created. Oh well. Like I said, Gerald Curtis and the Baxters and their goddamn drug deals and beating the shit out of inmates who had a problem with their fucking underhanded, sickening shit. Oh well. Gerald Curtis and Mr. Froge. Like I said, I was raped at least twice in the goddamn school district and the sick pieces of shit wouldn't even take a statement. Oh well. Tea time. Bitchery before tea. You know that's my style. Trying not to clink the cup. Well, I know it's rude to leave the spoon in the cup too. Too bad. Oh my God. There is nothing like a good hot cup of Earl Grey. And that's not saying, oh, look what I can afford or look what we have. It's just true. Tea's cheaper than coffee, too. At least the tea I buy is. Not to mention tea is healthier for you. Coffee has way too much acid in it. Because technically coffee is only supposed to be grown. Oh my God, bone pain. Bone pain. And I don't feel like medicating. Yet. Actually, I have a doctor's appointment at 11, and I probably won't medicate until after I get home because I don't feel like it. I mean, I'm in pain. I could medicate. I don't want to. I could stand to, as in I could need to, but I'm not going to. Because I don't feel like doing it right now. This is nicotine. I told you, nicotine, it's the devil. Oh, and then I can remember them coming to this. This is where I was knocked in the stomach so hard that I almost blacked out. This is not me causing self-harm, it's me demonstrating it. I was knocked in the stomach so hard after Elizabeth Butler's bombshell pussy whore messages via Gary Brewer's marijuana peddling IT system and Lisa Williams' pervert version of the DARE program. Sex sells and you will be buying these drugs and never tell us no. Aaron Mingy witnessed it happening that day. And Aaron Mingy was one of Connor's friends. Associate Chief Justice Lawrence O'Neill's son. Associate Chief Justice Lawrence O'Neill's uncircumcised son. Now, do I need to keep going on with more and more and more goddamn details? All this could have been solved if they had simply followed due process protocol. Due process is my safety as well as theirs. That's not some threat. Judges, you do not want to get yourselves tied up in a big bunch of shit just because you don't listen. That's called arrogance. No offense, that's called arrogance. Like I said, due process exists for your safety as well as mine. You blindly listening to law enforcement and these dumbass medical professionals and then signing those forms, you involve yourselves sometimes in a big bunch of shit. So have fun explaining it. That's not my fault. I cannot wait to talk to my primary care physician today about some of this shit. Get a referral for neurology. It's time to get reestablished in Ohio, even though it's a waste of fucking time. Well, we think you're just mentally ill. Yeah, you all making that goddamn judgment and putting me on those suicide-causing medications and then me trying to kill myself? Kentucky Revised Statute 216.302, failure to listen to your patient in a fraudulent manner and prescribing medications off-label. It's criminal, a felony. Fraud is felony. Ohio Code 3795. It's more lenient than Kentucky's. But, as I said, the Ohio physicians and stuff, they tried their best. Just like with Dr. Todd when he does give me pain management. He always does a physical exam. He always talks about it, asks questions. He's not just one of the pill mill doctors. Not like those idiots in South Shore who were just pumping out drugs right and left. You know what will really kill me? If Facebook undoes the restricted thing and then says, oh, well, also something you posted around the same time we found offensive, so we're going to restrict it again. Find everything offensive at one time. So let me tell you about the need for pain management and a bunch of perverts trying to convince me that it was unnecessary without even reading the medical file, the symptoms, seeing the imaging, the bleeding, etc. So thank you for causing me so much duress, I ended up killing myself. Fraud, because those skull fractures are documented nowhere in my medical record. Oh, is there a reason for that? Was it Jack West and his buddies or Van Ingram and his buddies? Like I said, the sick pieces of did that in an effort to dehumanize and degrade me. So thank you all for causing me so much pain. I, took my own life. Physical pain, psychological, who the hell cares? Yeah, I might get upset about it, but it's an upsetting topic because guess what? I'm not the only kid it happened to, and it still happens to kids every day. That's why I get so upset. Not on my shit. I had to get over it a long time ago, or I would have been dead by now. Or I would have been dead a long time ago. The physical disability that it left me with, permanently unable to work and hold gainful employment, thank you. But I had no right. Kids don't have rights. Men don't get raped in the same heartbeat. I had no right to sue them. When I went to sue them, or threatened to sue them, to take legal action against them, to file actual police reports against them, you will not be doing that. Oh well. Sitting judges, own goddamn families, threatening to kill me before they were judged and authorized to do such. All the while his semen on my childhood face, and Kim Razor's goddamn family trying to flush my head in toilets. Oh well. Now correct me if I'm wrong, but Bob Tribby and Mike Murphy had a big hand in coaching the baseball team, didn't they? They might not have been the coach, but they were always there, weren't they? So let Mrs. Razor argue that she didn't have any goddamn reason for this. Nothing but a load of shit. Well, people felt threatened by you. I had people smothering me, poisoning me, mashing me, raping me. All the while me trying to file reports only to be called a fucking liar by the Kentucky State Police, also tied to Mrs. Razor's goddamn family. Now these judges will sit back and say, oh, we have to do it. We have to do what they tell us to. You people are fucking chicken shit, and that's why the public has stopped giving a damn about making sure you're safe. That's not some idle threat saying they're coming after you. What I meant by that is, that's why the public no longer cares about trying to stop shitty law enforcement from harming you or your families. The American people have given up. So these judges claiming that, they have to do things because the cops are after them too. I guess you should have thought about that before pissing the civilian life off, who would come to your rescue in a heartbeat if need be, as long as you weren't assholes about it. And that's what I believe. If cops are holding a judge hostage for their agenda, civilians should be able to step in to protect that judge. But in this country, with the criminal justice system, the American people have given up on helping one another. And that's truly sad. Sickening, actually. I'm not saying that's the case with Stockton and Kim. Oh no, they're too well established to have the cops running the show. But it does happen, especially with the older judges. I've heard about it and I've read about it. Just like with Senator Booker. If I read the story correctly, and I can't find it now, I read a news article where Senator Cory Booker was held at gunpoint by law enforcement. And I don't remember the details of it. I'd like to hear his story. I'll try not to flirt too much. Just kidding. I know he's a hetero. But he is such an attractive man. And I like his style. I don't find it wrong to find straight men attractive. And my apologies if they get offended. It's not meant to be offensive. It's not meant to be offensive like, I'm gay and I think you're hot. It must mean something. It's meant as a compliment. You should take it as such and then laugh about a gay guy hitting on, or, complimenting you. That's how it's supposed to work. How does my hair look so decent and I just crawled out of bed? And then my mother, playing a victim. Yeah, right. I'd like to press charges against her for what she did, only for her family to allow her to bring another new gun into the house after she had threatened to kill me. Oh well. After she had tried to kill me. At least twice. Cameron Blau did not believe me. Oh well. I was called a liar. Yet again. So I said to hell with it. Oh well. So shall I talk about Charles Lucas and his dumbass activities? Or David Keith Adkins trying to get me high, underage, and his rapist father? Judy's son. My mother's oldest sister's son. David Keith Adkins. Now, if we're going to get technical, we're going to get fucking technical. Not only was my sister and her fucking friends doing that stupid shit, my mother's side of the family was also doing it to me. Get high, come on. Get the fuck away from me, you sick pieces of shit. Court signed off on their shit as quick as they could. No questions asked. Oh well. I didn't want to tell my story. Why would I? It's humiliating as hell. They didn't care. It was just another faggot to the wayside to them. I've been down. There's no way I can sing right now. Watching all these dreams go up in smoke. Let beauty come out of ashes. Let beauty come out of ashes. Maybe if I had some Botox injected, but I don't think I will. Oh, there's a thought, Celine. I hate to say it, and it's probably dangerous, but I hate that you're feeling so ill and doing so poorly. It's broken heart syndrome, in my opinion. But if she wants to sing, Botox can cause those muscle spasms to die down enough for the vocal cords to be normal. The reason I know that is because sometimes after people are intubated, it leaves their vocal cords pretty much paralyzed. It doesn't happen often, but it does. Plus, I had a teacher back in the day when Coca-Cola was 5 cents a bottle. I had a teacher who had some kind of, I forget what her issue was, but she could barely whisper. Botox made her voice normal, but it wore off. It wasn't a permanent fix, and insurance wouldn't pay for it, and they couldn't afford it. And she was the music teacher. The music teacher. She was a good woman. The asshole office administration would come over the intercom. Mrs. Ziegler! Yes! And they couldn't hear her, so we'd have to speak for her. That's how much of an asshole administration with Susan Grayson was. Doing over the PA system into a woman's classroom who can't even speak loud enough for us to hear her, let alone for the microphone to pick up her voice. So we would have to sit there and speak for her. That's how much of an asshole the administration was at Mason County. If you have something to tell Mrs. Ziegler, it's probably best you come to her fucking classroom due to her disability. Assholes. Lean on you, 'cause I've been shaking, I've been bending backwards till I'm broke, watching all these dreams go up in smoke. Let beauty come out of ashes. I can hear that or feel it coming out wrong. Oh well. God. My appointment's at 11. I was raped. I really was raped. Again. They act like men don't have the right to have feelings about it, let alone talk about it. It's a lot different when it's just so... whatever. And in these situations, at least when I was a child, it was quite literally them trying to rape the gay away. If we manhandle you rough enough, you won't want it anymore, will you, faggot? And I was called a liar about that too. Because my military member families had been through similar situations as adults, I was told to get the fuck over it by them too. Oh well. It's different when you don't even have your own family. And I refuse to allow myself to cry about it anymore, even though I am. You're doing court. You filed this. You said this. Screw you. They get upset that I have to use my arms to stand because they think they're helping something. Well, watch me burst this goddamn artery. Just like with Nancy Gutman and her stupid shit. A patient with Lehy's syndrome, a metabolic wasting disorder to the point that they usually lose enough muscle mass they can't walk, and the stupid bitch didn't even recommend them a wheelchair. She doesn't mind when I name her. I'm not going to, because that's personal, privileged patient information. She went on public record stating it. Nancy Gutman told me I didn't need a wheelchair, and I have this metabolic wasting disorder where I couldn't even walk half the time. Oh well. I contacted the Kentucky Medical Board about Nancy Gutman. Oh, Mr. Horde, if we decide to do anything, we'll let you know. Oh well. So we have a doctor prescribing to a patient, or to a person who wasn't even the patient during a setting, her saying that she didn't care whether her anti-inflammatory, on top of what I was already taking, caused kidney failure, her refusing a patient who absolutely needed a wheelchair. Oh well. Now, working with, Christy Boggs. So forgive me if I find it very, 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 very unethical for Primary Plus to have been buying up all the mom and pop shop independent doctors and then employing law enforcement families to help cover up their shit. That's not paranoia. And now I smell an egg. An egg for some reason. It's not a sensory hallucination, it's a flashback. Make sure you eat breakfast before you go to school. Well, if I wasn't so nauseated that I wanted to vomit after being bludgeoned, I probably would eat. Mom's side of the family. Oh, we have diabetes in our family. It's blah, 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 blah. No, I was bludgeoned to the point my skull was fractured. I'm nauseated all the time. Just because you all don't believe I can pray to control it because I'm a faggot and all this other stupid shit. But it does get out of hand a lot of times. They don't care. Oh, they're just waiting for the next people to drop so they can swoop in and say, we can handle the estate for them. I'll try to demonstrate my Uncle Bud treating my deaf aunt. We were at Barbara and Son funeral home for someone's funeral. Debbie, it's not like she was standing in the middle of the driveway. Debbie saw me and, waved at me, and I spoke to her, and Bud Lucas started flapping his arms, trying to get her attention, pointing at her and then pointing at his foot. Like he was a god, treating her like a goddamn dog. Get your ass on over here. Sick as hell. I reported it to the state of Kentucky, but I don't think they took the complaint seriously. I didn't do it out of spite. I did it out of concern. I've been expressing concern for her for a long time. Them withholding her from spending time regularly with non-hearing people to help with her mental health has caused a pretty big decline in her health, hasn't it? Oh, well, she's unsteady on her feet and blah, 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 blah. You assholes not allowing her to be around her own people makes it worse. Believe it or not, I would know. Mom and Dad yanking me away from any gay person they could in favor of those fucking hetero perverts. Oh well. So to Mr. Lucas, pointing his disgusting finger at my aunt and then at his foot like she's a dog, I hope you eat shit. And his daughter, Christy, with the Hilltop drug sales, and Kim Henderson Monteith, and Apple's Applegate, and Alfred Sims, and a few others. Oh well. Just like his stepson, Judy's son, David Keith Adkins, trying to get me high on cannabis when I was maybe 7. No thank you. Calling on you, 'cause I've been shaking, I've been bending back. I'm not even going to try to sing. But like I said, I can remember passing the stockyards and getting to the intersection of the AA and 68, and that's the last thing I remember that day in August 2019. Until coming to in the middle of the night in the hospital, only for them to ask me if I was ready to be transported to Eastern State Hospital. I guess. Whatever you all dosed me with or gave me or did to me, another reason I tried to kill myself. Thank you. I'd like to see the use of force report. You know, they didn't have body cameras, so I'd like to see the use of force report on that one. So let me tell you why I killed myself. Mashing, mashing, mashing. Oh well. So when I burst my temporal arteries to the point the blood was pooling in my face and then rolling down my eyes, oh well. I was called a liar about being raped by the Kentucky State Police, who had also had members of their community rape me as a child. Oh well. And to Chaplain Powell and his drugging, rapey family, thank you. Chaplain for the brass ring. Not chaplain for the inmates, chaplain for the law enforcement. Oh well. And most of the times it feels like somebody's holding my nose so they can put that pill in and make me swallow it. Screw you. So as I said, Rebecca Lewis, she was at least married to Deputy Adam Gill for a while, going from Stephanie Schumacher's drug peddling department, working with my ex-husband in the property deeds, to comprehend. Oh well. So, the question, Deputy Gill's ex-wife, or wife, Rebecca Lewis, Stephanie Schumacher's clerk's office to comprehend, yes or no? Oh, but they can't answer those questions. Oh well.